In 1972, The Godfather shook cinema to its core. The real story behind it? A saga of studio betrayal, mafia threats, actors on the brink, and unscripted brilliance that rivals the film's drama. You'll never see it the same way again. Francis Ford Coppola didn't just face resistance from Paramount Pictures. He faced a calculated campaign to destroy his vision. "They wanted me to fail," Coppola recalls, the sting still raw after 50 years. The studio envisioned a low-budget gangster flick, quick and forgettable. Coppola saw an epic about family, power, and moral decay, a defining American saga. The clash ignited before a single frame was shot. Paramount allocated a paltry $2 million for a sprawling period drama with a massive cast. "It was designed to keep us on our knees," producer Al Ruddy says. Daily shouting matches erupted, with executives threatening to fire Coppola constantly. Spies infiltrated the set, reporting every decision back to the studio. "I was under constant surveillance," Coppola confesses, his voice heavy with the memory. The studio's sabotage was relentless. They despised Coppola's dark, operatic aesthetic, meant to evoke moral ambiguity. "Too dim. You can't see their eyes." Executive Robert Evans sneered, demanding a brighter commercial look. Casting disputes were brutal. Paramount pushed for stars like Robert Redford, Ryan O'Neal, or even Ernest Borgnine for Michael Corleone, craving box office guarantees. Coppola was adamant. "Al Pacino is Michael." The response? "Who's this short, unknown theater actor?" No chance. The fight over Marlon Brando was fiercer. Labeled box office poison after flops like Mutiny on the Bounty, Brando was deemed too heavy, too erratic. "He's the greatest actor alive," Coppola countered. The studio's terms were humiliating. Brando had to audition, a first for a star of his caliber, work initially for free, and post a $1 million personal bond to ensure no delays. "It was a slap in the face," casting director Fred Roos recalls. On-set interference was a daily torment. Executives disrupted crucial shoots with fabricated budget crises, sent conflicting orders to department heads behind Coppola's back, and imposed impossible schedules, then berated the team for falling behind. A list of replacement directors, names like Elia Kazan and Arthur Penn, was left visible during meeting, one circled in red as a psychological jab. "It was warfare," cinematographer Gordon Willis confirms. Editing battles grew vicious. Paramount demanded a 90-minute action cut. Editor Walter Murch delivered a 3-hour epic. "They threatened to seize the negative and recut it themselves," Murch says. Coppola's desperate counter was to shoot dual versions of scenes, one for studio dailies, one for his true vision. "I was living a lie to save the film," he admits. "It gave me ulcers, cost me 20 pounds, and sleepless nights. I thought I'd never work again." The studio's contempt extended to pre-production. They rejected location shooting in New York, pushing for cheaper Los Angeles backlots. Coppola insisted on authenticity, scouting Little Italy himself. They cut his shooting schedule from 60 days to 45, forcing grueling 16-hour days. Even the music was a battleground. Paramount scoffed at Nino Rota's haunting score, calling it too European. Coppola fought to keep it, knowing it was the film's heartbeat. The final insult came post-production. Paramount's trade ad for the March 1972 release omitted Coppola's name entirely, a deliberate erasure. "I poured my soul into this, and they tried to wipe me out," he says. Yet, Coppola's defiance, backed by a loyal crew, laid the foundation for a masterpiece that would outlast its detractors. While Coppola battled Paramount, a darker force loomed: the real mafia. "We weren't just telling their story," Al Ruddy says, his voice low. "We needed their permission to live." Trouble began early. The Italian-American Civil Rights League, led by mob boss Joe Colombo Sr., threatened a boycott, claiming the film stereotyped Italians. "It wasn't about image," Ruddy explains. "It was about control." Ruddy was summoned to a chilling meeting at the Park Sheraton Hotel, notorious for mob executions like Albert Anastasia's 1957 murder. 5 men, no names, One said, "We've read Pusso's book. Keep it out of the movie," Ruddy recalls, the memory tightening his throat. The ultimatum was clear. To proceed, the production agreed to remove Mafia and Cosa Nostra from the script, a small but symbolic concession. The boycott vanished overnight. Then came the advisors. Men with no film experience but deep mob ties appeared on set, offering guidance on authenticity. They'd correct how a boss gestures, how soldiers show deference, James Caan says. These weren't suggestions, they were orders. Cast members received anonymous late-night calls. "Just ensuring you're showing us respect," the voices said. Identities unspoken, but unmistakable. The horse head scene drew intense scrutiny. "A guy pulled me aside after we filmed it," Coppola says. "That's not how we do it," he said, "but it's good for your picture." His tone, like he'd seen the real thing, froze my blood. Danger peaked in Little Italy. During the Sollozzo McCluskey assassination shoot at Luna's restaurant, a local approached Pacino between takes. He whispered, "That hit happened for real right across the street." Pacino recalls, eyes wide, "Not from Pusso's book, real life." The production office received chilling photos. Crew members at home, with their kids, or in cars. No notes, just threats. The message was clear. "We're watching," Roos says. The baptism murder montage, intercutting sacred ritual with brutal killings, coincided with a wave of Brooklyn slayings mirroring the film's sequence. Same order, same methods, Murch notes. Were they inspired by us, or warning us they knew our script? A real mob hit, an execution of a Columbo rival, unfolded 3 blocks away during the restaurant scene. Gunshots echoed. Cops raced past, Roos recalls. The irony was suffocating. Even Joe Columbo, who brokered the truce, wasn't immune. On June 28, 1971, during post-production, he was shot at a rally in Columbus Circle, a hit eerily paralleling the film's violence. He survived but remained in a coma, a stark reminder of the world they were portraying. The production also faced logistical threats. Union workers, rumored to be mob-connected, delayed equipment deliveries. Locations like the Mott Street Funeral Parlor were secured only after donations to local groups. "We were dancing with the devil," Coppola says softly. "They scrutinized every frame, every choice, and we felt their breath on our necks." The Godfather didn't just launch careers, it reshaped its actors, blurring performance and reality in ways that left lasting scars. Marlon Brando's transformation into Vito Corleone began with physical changes: dental prosthetics, dyed hair, padded cheeks to mimic a bulldog's jowls. But it deepened into something profound. Marlon vanished. Vito took over, Robert Duvall says. Between takes, Brando stayed in character, dispensing advice, settling disputes, exuding patriarchal authority. Crew members treated him like the Don, some kissing his hand in genuine reverence. He shifted the set's entire energy, Gordon Willis says. It was like Vito was real. Al Pacino's journey as Michael Corleone was a psychological plunge. "I was a nervous theater kid. Nothing like him," he admits. As Michael evolved from innocent outsider to cold-blooded patriarch, Pacino changed too. "My walk steadied. My voice dropped. I became distant," he says. Insomnia and panic attacks plagued him, mirroring Michael's isolation. "I felt him consuming me, and it scared me to death." He spent nights pacing, unable to shake the character's weight. James Caan's immersion as Sonny unleashed raw fury. "I got too comfortable with his rage," he confesses. After filming violent scenes, the anger lingered, sparking real fights, in bars, in traffic. In the improvised Carlo beating, Caan broke Gianni Russo's ribs and chipped his elbow. "That was Sonny, not me," he says. His marriage collapsed during filming. "I brought his volatility home." John Cazale's portrayal of Fredo tapped into raw vulnerability. He found Fredo's desperation to be seen, and it broke something in him. Pacino reflects of his friend. The pain lingered, haunting Cazale long after. Even supporting players were affected. Richard Castellano, as Clemenza, earned real respect from Little Italy locals, who deferred to him in restaurants. Robert Duvall, as Tom Hagen, was approached for actual legal advice. The transformation extended to the ensemble. Diane Keaton, as Kay, found herself grappling with Michael's darkness off-screen. "Al's intensity pulled me in," she says. "I felt Kay's heartbreak in real time." Lenny Montana, a former wrestler playing Luca Brasi, was so intimidated by Brando that his nervous stammer became part of the character. The Godfather's power lies in its visual storytelling, a subtle language that speaks to the subconscious. Every frame tells the action and its hidden dynamics. Gordon Willis explains, "The deliberate darkness, underexposed frames, hides eyes, reflecting moral shadows. These men live in darkness," Willis says. Light tracks Michael's descent. The sunlit wedding contrasts his final, shadowy isolation. Overhead shots signal judgment from fate, family, or God. It's power looking down, Coppola notes. Facial framing reveals intent, full-face shots for honesty, profiles for deceit, tracing Michael's corruption arc. Oranges foreshadow death. On Vito's desk during his shooting, in Waltz's drink before the horse head, spilling as Vito collapses in the garden. They're deliberate harbingers, set decorator Philip Smith confirms. Doorways frame moral crossroads, like Kay's exclusion as the final door shuts. Spaces reflect hierarchy, cramped rooms for the powerless, vast yet intimate offices for the mighty, like Vito's study, blending warmth and menace. Windows show divided loyalties, characters caught between family and the world. Camera work shifts from steady to chaotic, mirroring moral unraveling. The baptism's sacred profane cuts expose hypocrisy. The 1.85:1 aspect ratio traps characters in duty. A claustrophobic frame, Michael's eyes dull from expressive to lifeless. His soul bricked over, Walter Murch observes. Religious imagery weaves irony. Crosses and statues punctuate violence, underscoring moral decay. The Sicilian sequences, shot in muted golds, contrast New York's cold grays, reflecting Michael's cultural rift. Costumes evolve. Vito's tailored suits give way to Michael's stark black, signaling his transformation. Even props carry weight. The cannoli in Clemenza's hands, the cigarette Michael grips in the hospital scene. Every detail was a choice, production designer Dean Tavoularis says. "We built a world where nothing was accidental." Coppola adds, "You don't need to decode it. Your heart feels it. That's why it haunts." Many of The Godfather's iconic moments were never scripted, born from accidents, desperation, or genius. Brando's cat in the opening, a stray he picked up mid-rehearsal. The tenderness against his menace was perfect, Coppola says. "We kept it." The line, "I'll make him an offer he can't refuse," was just another sentence until Brando's chilling whisper made it legendary. James, cayenne-infused Sonny with unscripted energy, cracking knuckles, pacing like a caged tiger. "I made him physical," Khan says. The restaurant murder's tension came from Coppola's last-minute whisper to Pacino. "Imagine a train building in your mind." The sound was added later, but Pacino's eyes captured the inner war. The hospital scene, where Michael saves Vito, was born from a lost location. "We had to use a real corridor, tight and eerie," Coppola recalls. "It became suspenseful by necessity." Clemenza's "leave the gun, take the cannoli" was Richard Castellano's improv, tying to an earlier domestic beat. Kay's slap from Michael? Unscripted. Pacino's impulse. Diane Keaton's shock, genuine. "My reaction was real," Keaton says. Luca Brasi's nervous stammer, Lenny Montana's real fear of flubbing lines opposite Brando, reworked into character depth. Sonny's fruit vendor scuffle emerged during a lighting delay, humanizing the hothead. Vito's death, playing with his grandson and an orange peel, was Brando's idea. A joyful moment turned tragic. It gave Vito humanity in his final breath, Coppola says. Other moments sparkled unexpectedly. The wedding sequence's energy came from real wine served to extras, loosening the crowd. The Sicilian scenes gained authenticity from local non-actors, their faces etched with real hardship. Pacino's improvised pause before shooting Solozzo, a split second of doubt, wasn't scripted, but became the scene's heart. Those accidents were the film's soul, Coppola reflects. The script was our map, but inspiration made it alive. The Godfather's March 15, 1972, premiere wasn't just a hit, it was a revolution. Directors went from hired hands to visionaries overnight. Robert Evans says, "It grossed $86 million domestically, $246 million globally, the era's biggest hit." Executives who fought Coppola scrambled to claim credit, with Paramount's Charles Bluhdorn calling it his vision after opposing every step. The film birthed the auteur-driven 1970s, empowering directors like Martin Scorsese, Steven Spielberg, and William Friedkin. Before, studios ruled, critic Peter Biskind notes. After, directors had power. The cast's lives changed instantly. Al Pacino, an unknown, became a star. "I couldn't walk down the street," he says. "My life ended as I knew it." James Caan was typecast as volatile tough guys for years. "Casting directors saw only Sonny," he says. Marlon Brando's career was reborn. Once Poison, he commanded $3 million for 10 minutes in Superman. Robert Duvall became a legend, his understated Hagen defining quiet power. The film reshaped perceptions of organized crime, showing it as a dark mirror of American capitalism. "It's just business," author Gay Talese notes. "A family protecting its interests." Lines like "go to the mattresses," "sleeping with the fishes," and "offer he can't refuse" became cultural shorthand. It dignified Italian-American portrayals. "Before, we were pizza-making clowns or one-dimensional crooks," Scorsese says. Coppola gave us complexity, tragedy, production innovations, location shooting, natural lighting, meticulous period details like 1940s cars and costumes set new standards. Paramount, nearly bankrupt before, was saved, dominating with The Godfather Part II, Chinatown, and Nashville. Oscars for Best Picture, Best Actor, and Best Adapted Screenplay cemented the new Hollywood. Coppola gained unprecedented power, birthing the conversation and apocalypse now. Yet, the film's blockbuster success had a dark side, fueling a profit-driven mentality that later stifled the very creativity it unleashed. "We were young, hungry, fighting impossible odds," Pacino says. "That magic can't be replicated." The film's cultural reach extended globally. In Italy, it sparked debates about mafia portrayals, with some praising its authenticity, others decrying its glamorization. In Japan, it influenced Yakuza films, adopting its family-centric lens. Its realism inspired filmmakers like John Woo and Quentin Tarantino, who borrowed its gritty violence and moral ambiguity. The Godfather became a blueprint for prestige TV. From The Sopranos to Breaking Bad, its influence inescapable. "It's not just a movie," Scorsese says. "It's a monument, studied and felt forever." The Godfather's creation is a saga as epic as the film, a tale of defiance, danger, and serendipity. From Paramount's sabotage to the mafia's menacing oversight, from actors consumed by their roles to unscripted moments that became legend, this masterpiece emerged from a crucible of conflict. The film's power lies in this parallel, a fight for creative control against overwhelming odds, reflecting its themes of family, power, and sacrifice. Great art rises from struggle, and The Godfather is proof, a victory of vision over compromise. If this journey stirred you, hit that like button and subscribe for more untold stories from cinema's golden age. Share your favorite Godfather scene in the comments. Has this changed how you see it? Next, we're diving into the chaos behind another 1970s classic. Don't miss it!
Share your thoughts in the comments, and don't forget to like and subscribe for more dives into Hollywood's hidden history.